Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm just back with part 3 of today's message. And so, what what I have to say is just shows how connected we are, right? Because the first message was about the golden horseshoe, whose twin had put that up on his Facebook, or he'd liked it or something. Now, the second message was about the cedar tree. Now, the lady whose twin that was has just come back to me to say that her parents planted a cedar tree when she was born, and it has something, well, so obviously that is very significant for her. Now, the other lady with the horse who won, this is just so crazy. She then won again on another horse yesterday. The horse's name was called Believe It. And so the horse's name was Believe It. The time of the race was 5:55 when it won, and the odds were 8-1. Now, as I was reading her email saying Believe It, this video started to play, and it is the reading by Twin Flames, June the 5th to the 11th, Twin Flames, Divine Masculine. And on it, it says Believe. Now, she is talking about how the Divine Masculine sees the Divine Feminine as being enlightened and patient and kind of spiritual and very patient on this journey. Now, we have had the messages this morning about the turtle and the turtle winning the race. Now, somebody else sent me an email yesterday, and I'm going to have to read it out. It's quite a lengthy email, but it is about a, sorry, one sec. It is, where is this? Hang on one second, because it is about, hang on. Okay, so I'm just going to read it. It's about an episode of New Girl, right? And the reason why is because it's got turtle references again. So bear with me, because I'm going to read this out. So many messages again. I just had to share what I saw today in an episode of New Girl. It's full of messages for us that I think you'll love. And I think it has a beautiful overall message as well. I share that as a conclusion. As a conclusion below. If you don't know this series, it's about Winston, Jess, Nick, a very unemotional guy, your typical male. Schmidt, who's straight but very feminine and everything, and does everything in the house for all of them, housework, but all kinds of extras, and really thoughtful. All living together as friends. As a reminder, it's the same series that had the Eye of the Tiger in it that I'd seen the day of your healing for me. The song that came up as the first thing in it, which I thought was amazing, especially since I hadn't heard the song in years. So Nick is watching a documentary about turtles. And, but not just any turtle. It's about the ones on the Galapagos Islands, the giant turtles, the largest kind that exist, and they are very rare, which I think may have an additional message, like unconditional love is the biggest, the highest, the most beautiful and divine, kind of like the twin flames. Anyway, when Schmidt comes home, Nick asks something regarding wanting to get a turtle. Schmidt says to him, a turtle? And Nick says, a thinking man's best friend. Seriously, they used that sentence, the thinking man card that keeps coming up in your energy readings. Then Schmidt gives Nick a cookie he bought for him. And we had the messages around cookies and cupcakes, and that's all, again, around a sense of actually love for yourself. Nick thinks it's because Schmidt just had one extra, but he had bought it especially for him because he had thought about him, which Nick doesn't get and thinks that's actually weird, and he tells him he never thinks of him. In a later scene, Nick starts about the turtles again to Schmidt. They get into a discussion about the cookie, and Schmidt is not happy about the fact that Nick never thinks of him, but he thinks of Nick often. He feels really hurt for having made that gesture because he knew Nick would like a cookie, and he's mostly hurt for Nick not feeling the same way. In another scene, Nick starts about the turtles again, as if it's constantly pointing to unconditional love, and Nick and Schmidt represent the DM and the DF. But now to Winston, who says, Schmidt cares about you so much, man, and you don't even think about him. Nick asks if he's taking Schmidt's side, to which he responds, yes, because I know how you are. Then you see a scene of them as young boys in which Winston says regarding a non-disclosed situation, I don't know why he ran away. All I did was love him. And then Nick walks away as if he didn't even hear what Winston had said. At some point, Nick says, nobody buys people cookies for no reason. And Winston says, you still don't get it, do you? That wasn't a cookie, it was a piece of his heart. Later, Nick comes home saying all the turtles were gone when he was going to get one. And Winston says Schmidt isn't talking to him anymore. Then he's tired of him doing tired of him doing things for Nick that go unnoticed. And she says that's like the DF collective that often feels that way. And Jess later comes into the room and asks Nick what's going on, and asks how Schmidt and he even met. Nick explains they